One day, an expensive, shiny Ford drove into a car wash. Glen proudly got out of the car and pointed at a nearby employee. "Hey you, wash my car and do it fast." The young man rushed to obey his order. His face looked familiar to Glen. "Alan? Alan White? We studied at school together. How did you get a job at a car wash?" "I can't tell you everything now, let's talk later," the young man replied embarrassedly. "Oh yes, such a promising student is now busy washing the car," Glen said with a grin. Alan ignored his remark. He didn't want to ruin his day. He also did not see that Glen secretly recorded his video on his phone's camera. After finishing his work, Alan waved to his former classmate and returned to his thoughts. He missed his wife a lot, who was thousands of miles away from him. In the meantime, Glen sent the video he shot to all their classmates. Many were shocked because Alan was an excellent student and he was predicted to have a brilliant career. 3 days after this situation, a meeting of former classmates took place. The former graduates began to arrive at the gathering place. Glen, as usual, drove up in his shiny Ford. But then a huge Chevrolet Jeep parked outside the restaurant, and Alan stepped out of it. "Did you rent a car, Alan? I don't think car washers make that much," Glen asked with a sneer. The young man ignored the question and walked into the restaurant. All classmates sat down at the tables. There was only Jessica Anderson missing. She probably works as a nurse like her mother and now changes diapers for some old people. Glen could not keep silent. "No, Glen, she doesn't change diapers. She has gone to a conference in New York," Alan replied. "How do you know?" "We've been married for 8 years. She finished university and became a surgeon." A sigh of admiration swept the restaurant hall, and this served as the beginning of a general conversation where everyone talked about their achievements. When it was Alan's turn, he revealed that he inherited a car wash from his father and made the business prosperous. Glen was shocked. He couldn't understand why he saw Alan working as a car washer. The answer was simple. It turned out that the young man simply replaced the sick worker. Feeling uncomfortable, after a while Glen left the party. Arriving home, Alan could only think about his wife. 8 years ago, he and Jessica didn't even have a penny, and they got married and achieved great success in their careers. The next day, Alan saw Glen's shiny Ford again, but it was not his classmate who was driving it, but the boss of a construction company which office was nearby. "Is this your car?" he asked the man. "Of course. I bought it 2 weeks ago. Why you're asking?" Alan was about to say something, but then he saw Glen, who was leaving his car wash in a completely different car. "Glen, where are you? It's time to fire you," the man said angrily. He scolded his employee and left. "Forgive me for what I said," Glen said to Alan. "I was a fool." Alan shook hands with Glen. He did not take the offense at the former classmate. Alan was used to seeing only the good in people, and besides, they had many wonderful shared memories.